In this episode of The Tripod,
I put up the story saying Sean Horphoto is going to kill me for trying to get him to 10k, and then a screenshot of his page with all these GIFs around it. And he replied to my story in the most polite and loving way. F*** you.
welcome to The Tripod.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 32 of The Tripod. My name is Sean O'Riordan, once again the youngest host of The Tripod. I am joined by my lovely co-hosts who will now introduce themselves in no particular order.
You are really clinging to that youngest host thing, aren't you?
I'm going to say it every week though.
You should. You definitely should.
Hello everybody, I am Ronan HD and I am the middle host of The Tripod.
What's the story, lads? It's Kevin here, the lad of the group. How are you all?
That acts like the youngest and the most.
That acts like the youngest most of the time.
Yeah. Ronan acts like Ronan's like the most mature. I'm like the middle guy. And Kevin
Can we call Ronan Daddy
baby
from now on?
Well, everyone knows he. Well, yeah, okay. It might be weird though if it just says, like, at least he didn't say call me Daddy. That would have sounded weird.
It's only weird if you let it get weird, lads. It's fine.
In fairness, the quiz we had up there the other day, there was the question about the reading age of 16.
Everyone thought it was Kevin.
They did not.
No, everyone thought it was me. It was
did they?
90 something votes for me and then 30 votes each for you two or something. And I was like, that it just, all of the questions we had up, it just goes to show what people think of us. Like, I'm also the least fragile because only about 20 people said I broke a bone. And then like everyone voted for it to be Kevin. But
Yeah,
it
how-
was to be Sean.
How did people think that it was Kevin? Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm the guy that does all the mountains, like.
Yeah, you see, but I'm just like, I get stuck in trees and I don't know, I would strike me as the, like, if I met someone like me, I'd say, yeah, they probably broke a lot of bones.
Like accident
He
prone.
falls
Just a
over
messer,
lot, I'd
like, you know what I
say.
mean? Yeah, just accident
There was some
prone,
interesting,
a bit silly.
interesting results from that quiz, all right. No, I was the one who had a reading age of 16 when I was in 5th class. I'll have you know.
Good man. I don't think I even have a reading age of 16 at the moment, like, so it's pretty good going.
And I have broken 5 bones and I've never seen Shawshank Redemption.
What bones?
My collarbone,
Ouch.
my kneecap.
Ouch.
Yeah, I've broken finger, I've broken my wrist, and I've broken was it my ankle or my toe? I broke one of them before. Something fell. Something heavy fell. I think it was my toe. But yeah, the collarbone was the most painful. I broke my collarbone, my kneecap, and my wrist all in the one go.
What?
Oh,
How?
good Lord.
I crashed a dirt bike.
Oh, God.
I was on top of a mountain.
Yeah, nothing to do with being on a mountain. I was like 13. I crashed a bike. So yeah. But anyway, there was some very interesting tips that came in. Kevin, what were your fun facts again?
I was born remarkably premature. Yeah, I'm like what did I call it? Like a survivor
Premature?
baby or like a super baby or some stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I have never seen Star Wars. And I queued at midnight to buy a Harry Potter book when I was 19.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was the last one. Like, I mean, I had gone through the journey with him. You know what I mean? It was, I couldn't not. So like, I had to do it.
It's actually, Ronan, it's actually complimentary to you that everyone thought you had a reading age. That good of a reading age. You know, everyone thinks you're the smartest on the tripod, and it probably is because you're probably the most organised. And
I
so,
would, yeah.
it makes sense why everyone thought that.
Yeah, what I took from it was I'm seen as the smartest, the least fragile, and also the least sporty because like 90 something people voted for Sean to have 2 All-Ireland medals and I had about 4 votes. Kevin had like 30 something votes. I was like, do people really think this of me? Yeah, my mum texted me and was like, oh, why do people keep voting against you and that? And I was like, I just don't know. It's not fair.
Oh, could the viewers actually see? They can't see who voted for which one. We can see who voted for which one, but you just get like a right or wrong answer, don't you? when you take the quiz.
But I sent her the screenshot because it was ludicrous. There was literally like 4 people had picked me, and Mum was one of them. Like, and I was like, at least you remember me.
Well, I'm
at least
flattered.
You care for me, mother.
Flattered that everyone thinks that I have all Ireland medals, but I don't.
I'm guessing everyone knew I was Harry Potter. I have a feeling that was probably
that one was actually pretty even.
Yeah, it was easy enough. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, across the board. Yeah.
Oh, I'll take that. That's all right.
Some people were appalled I've never seen Shawshank Redemption, but look, here we are.
In fairness, Sean, I am appalled that you've never seen Shawshank Redemption.
I'm not a movie guy.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like that.
The Green Mile is my Shawshank Redemption. I love the Green Mile. So
I think you should. I think tonight you should watch the Shawshank Redemption.
Are you mad? No, you're not going to watch it tonight. It's like 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. Not a hope.
Fine.
Okay, lads. Do you know what? Instead of asking you how your week was, we're just going to launch straight into this. Is that okay? Because we have a very interesting episode here, and it's actually inspired by one of our listeners. Paul Coffey put into our socials during the week that he has reignited his passion for photography, and he's actually using Snapseed to edit his photographs. And he was asking for some advice, as all our listeners do in the community, which is brilliant. They ask for some advice on post-processing software and plans and whatnot. So this is something we want to try and do a bit more. Like, we want to try and get the listeners' input into the podcast and take on, do you know what I mean? Take on what they say and make them more involved in the podcast. So Paul is asking about where can he go next. So he's on Snapseed at the moment, and a lot of people obviously recommended Adobe Creative Cloud and their photography plans and whatnot. So we decided, why not discuss the photography plans and give him a few options, and maybe give other people options as well. I'll start out with the plan that I'm on. I'm actually on the full plan, because Adobe still think I'm a student of the University of Limerick. So I'm
we know that you're listening, Adobe, and Sean is still a student of the University of Limerick.
I'm a mature student doing a Masters of Education in technology in the University of Limerick. So I'm on the full plan, right, for €20 a month, and I have all the software. Now, I don't need all the software, okay? Really, what I primarily use is Lightroom, Photoshop, and Premiere Pro. And Camera Raw, obviously, but that comes with Photoshop. So they're kind of the ones that I use primarily. But like, I have like Audacity, Illustrator, do you know what I mean? I have the audio software. What's it called again? Starts with an A. Oh, what's it called?
Is that Audacity?
No, not Audacity. Audacity is another software altogether. I'll look it up. Basically, I have the whole Adobe suite for €20 a month. You don't need that. Do you know what I mean? That's overkill. I'm looking at the plans.
Yeah, but if you can get it for €20 a month, you may as well.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, if you're a student, you'll get it. Like, yeah, if you have a student card, you'll get it 100%. But I'm looking at the plans here in front of me. So, and this is something I actually don't use. I never knew this until Ronan mentioned. You get cloud storage with each of your photography plan, which is phenomenal. So they have a photography plan with 20 gigs of cloud storage for $12.09 per month. $12.09. Why is it $12.09? That's such a strange figure.
Is that because
it's the VAT?
Would it be down to like a VAT change or whatever?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the VAT rate changed to 21% for this year. So when that goes back to 23%, it'll be $12.49, I think, on the button. Don't quote me on that now.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, there we go. There's me being a marketing genius once again and business head. So that includes Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom. That always confused me. Why did I call it Adobe Photoshop Lightroom? I said it's Adobe Lightroom. Am I the only one who that's occurred to? No? Yes? Okay.
Yeah, no, the change of Lightroom Classic.
Yeah.
Remember, Lightroom was Adobe Lightroom CC.
Yeah.
And then it became Adobe Lightroom Classic, and they released a new one called Adobe Lightroom CC. We'll go over that later, but that, like, the Adobe need to work on their naming skills.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So you have Adobe Photoshop Lightroom.
They really do, don't they? Like,
yeah, that's like the one I have on my Mac. It's kind of more for organizing and catalog. You still edit and stuff, but it's not as powerful as like a Lightroom Classic is the one that we all use. I think that's the powerful Lightroom that we all know and love. You get Adobe Photoshop with that. For a desktop, you get Photoshop on your iPad. You get Adobe Spark, which is actually really handy. I've used Spark a lot for creating cool graphics and stuff for social media. And you get Adobe Portfolio to build your own website, which is something that I really would love to have utilised more, and Ron, I know you have, but I would love to have utilised it more. And you get 20 gigs of cloud storage, which is brilliant. So that's your $12.09 package a month. I think that would do Paul perfectly.
That's the one I have.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's absolutely grand. I've now, because I don't use the Photoshop side of it yet. I will eventually, I promise. But yeah, look, it's served me well because all I really use is Lightroom. And then I've downloaded a few of the trials of other pieces of software, because you do get trials with any of the rest of them if you want to try them out as well, which is always good to note.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's perfect. Like honestly, for me, it's
like,
exactly what I need.
Looking at the Lightroom plan here, there's a standalone Lightroom plan, which is the same price, and you get 1 terabyte of storage instead, but you don't get Lightroom Classic, you don't get Photoshop. So I would not recommend that plan to anyone, to be honest with you. Like, you might as well go for like 20 gigs of cloud storage is loads. I mean, I don't use cloud storage, so it wouldn't bother me. And for the same price, you get Photoshop and you get the 2 Lightrooms. Like, what do you think, Ronan? Even if you aren't going to use Photoshop, it's better to have it than not to have it.
Yeah, I think the best plan to go with is the basic photography plan with the 20 gig of storage, because like Kevin has that and he doesn't use Photoshop, but he has it there as an option. It's there as something he can reach out to. Some people, when they download the mobile app for Lightroom CC, they're automatically shown the Lightroom plan, which is the same price, and they sign up for it, but then you don't get Photoshop. And you have 1 terabyte of this cloud storage. That's like 20,000 raw files or 200,000 JPEGs. Like, you're never going to use that much storage. The other thing with that much storage, that's offered in the 25-euro a month plan as well. But it doesn't integrate that well into Photoshop and Lightroom Classic. So you have all this cloud storage space that kind of only works between Lightroom CC. When you move from the phone app to the desktop, your photos automatically appear there. So having the other plan, the photography plan with 20 gig storage, you can process your photo in Lightroom Classic, bring it into Photoshop for any changes, and then you can actually export it to Lightroom CC, and that will then in turn bring it over to your phone automatically. And it'll be a fairly small file size by the time you're finished processing it. So with your 20 gig of cloud storage, it's loads. So you've an all-in-one platform there with 2 editing apps that it basically gives you way more control. So the basic photography plan is the way to go for me.
100%. I totally agree.
It's perfect. It is. It's absolutely perfect.
And actually, it's interesting you mentioned that, Ronan, about your photo being able to transfer over, because, and this is kind of going down a small bit of a rabbit hole, but it's a relatable rabbit hole. It's definitely more relatable than the ones we've gone down in the past.
Since when do we do rabbit holes on
this podcast? What?
I know. It might be a surprise to you, but we do. Okay, I'm sorry to break it to you, but we do. Okay. Mark O'Brien was asking about, we were having this chat about like phones and like compression and images and stuff, and he was like, I'm noticing a lot of degradation and compression in some of my shots, like when I don't want to get them onto my phone. And I'm like, how do you go from like desktop to your phone? And he said, I usually just email it. Like, and I was like, that could be an issue. Like, I don't know, but it's a possibility that there could be compression issues going on when you email it to yourself and then download it off an email. And I was like, man, I've never once seen compression in any of my photographs when I've taken them onto my phone. And he's like, how do you do it? I was like, I create a collection on Lightroom. The Lightroom Classic, you can create a collection. It's like an album, like, and you sync that album. You sync that collection with your CC, with your Creative Cloud. And then once you go onto your Lightroom app on your mobile, all your collections are there, and you can just export a high-res copy, or you can export a low-res, you can export different dimensions, whatever you want, onto your phone. And it's absolutely pin-sharp, crystal clear, no compression whatsoever. So that's something that our listeners should do, I think, as part of your workflow, like touching on what we spoke about last week. If you use Lightroom Classic or use Lightroom CC, you should be creating these collections, or like just like albums. I have a one called 2018 Edits, so I've never really named it. Like all my 2020 stuff is in there as well. So like 400 and something images, and they're all synced. And I just, whenever I have an edit finished, I just drag it over, put it in that collection. And if I want to post to Instagram, I just download it off my phone. So on your Lightroom app on your phone. So that's something that should definitely be integrated into your workflow. And like with these plans, you get that, you know.
Yeah, the other perks of doing it that way, Sean, is a lot of people starting out have trouble with their histogram, their monitor brightness on their computer, and then when they do get the image over onto their phone, like the colors are different, the exposure is different. So if you actually do all your edit on your computer, zip it over to Lightroom CC, then into your collection, up into the cloud, onto your phone, you can actually finish the edit in Lightroom CC on your phone, so you know what it looks like on your phone screen. So you can do any sharpening, color corrections, exposure corrections there and then on your phone before you actually export it. So you're kind of getting like the best of both worlds by, like we said last week, build that kind of workflow.
Yeah.
That
100%.
sounds like something I need to do, because the laptop I'm currently using at the moment, lads, as you know, isn't very fantastic.
It's cat.
And it's grand. But I edited a shot
potato.
just
Let's
recently.
just say okay. Let's just give the listener a bit of perspective there now, right? Me and Ronan were sitting here, right, waiting on the Zoom, and Kevin had a guitar in his head that he was just strumming away, and we couldn't hear him because he wasn't on the clean feed yet. And like I was starting to lose my SH1T a small because I'm in a bit of a rush tonight. I'm under a bit of pressure, like, you know. And I was like, Kev, like, just join the fucking clean feed, Kev. Do you know what I mean? I was gritting my teeth, like,
and
I was like, I'm trying.
And he was actually waiting for it to boot up. So it took like, I'd say it took a good 15 minutes to open Google Chrome on your laptop.
Yeah, it was.
So this is what we're talking about.
So it opened, right? But I know if I try launch it too quickly, then it's not gonna happen.
You have
to just give it a bit of time, and then it's grand. But anyway, so I was editing a photo on it.
This, like, could you not have opened Google Chrome at 9 o'clock?
There was a match on. Look, doesn't matter anyway.
At 9:30. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan as well, but like,
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
There's
Listen,
smart fridges out there that have better access to the internet than
this
Kevin does.
This is not the point we're trying to make here, gentlemen. What we are speaking about is editing photos.
Your lack of responsibility.
Now, I was editing a photo and I sent it to my phone, and it literally looked like it was shocking. Put it that way. Like, the edit looked lovely on the laptop. Brought it to my phone. It was dark. It was dull. It was the colors are horrendous. So I think I need, because like I am the same as Mark in that I get a photo, I finish it, I email it to myself, I download it, and that's how I go it as well. So I think I need to start doing this process we're talking about, because
100%.
Not only will it save time and like save, you know, whatever, it's just I think it'll just be a lot easier to finish it off, you know what I mean?
They're all on your phone, like, and then like I love it because, let's say I'm out shooting on a weekend, and like I'm out shooting on a Saturday, and let's say I do a couple of edits on a Sunday, and then like during the week, like when I get a spare minute, I'll flick onto Lightroom and I'll have a look at the image and kind of like, okay, I need to change that. I kind of know what I have to do in my head then when I go onto my desktop. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like you can leave these ideas mull over in your head. Like, some people use Dropbox, some people use Google Drive. Probably fine. You can once you upload, you have to upload a full high-res image then of it, and you have to download a full high-res image onto your phone, which is overkill for social media. You're not only taking up too much space in your phone, but it's overkill. Like, whereas in the Lightroom app, you can export a small dimension image, but it's still high-res. So it's a small file, but it's still high-res.
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah, that's what people should. I know, kind of. Yeah, this was a rabbit hole, but I think it's a helpful rabbit hole. A lot of people didn't know 100%, that workflow. Like Alan Hartigan didn't know about it either. I was kind of like, geez, I thought this was like automatic. And it's not even you have to set
Standard,
it up, like, because once you have CC, it automatically syncs, like it'll sync to the cloud. So yeah, that's the basic plan. So $12.09 a month. $12.09, I think that's hilarious. $12.09 photography plan.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah. It is absolutely ridiculous.
You get Photoshop, you get Lightroom Classic, Lightroom CC, and you get your 20 gig of storage. You get Adobe Spark. And you get, what else do you get? You get Photoshop on your iPad, which is a free app anyway. I'll be going for that. Paul, don't get sucked into the Lightroom standalone app or plan, because you'll have to buy Photoshop on its own then afterwards. Do you know? So that's your Adobe. And then, like, if you want to go into like Premiere Pro and all them, you can add them in as a standalone software as well if you're into your bit of video editing. But there's lots of great video editors out there, which maybe we'll touch on in the future. That's your Adobe Cloud and your Adobe CC plans. Anything you want to add to that, lads?
No, it's good.
Can we have a go with Kevin again?
I really enjoyed that.
Bring it on. Come on, bring it
was
on.
fun, Sean.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
Welcome to the
I'll take his
side.
boat down.
Kev, is it or is it not true that you were completely unorganised for this podcast at 9:25 and we were recording at 9:30?
Gentlemen, is it or is it not true that we were all completely unorganised for this podcast at about 9 o'clock?
Yeah, but we were recording at 9:30. I said 9:27. I
In
came in the
our
door.
defense, we're not prepared for any podcast. So
Exactly. Exactly. In
Well, we
your
are-
face.
Within 10 minutes of the podcast, we were so prepared, like, do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, on a serious note, there's one thing I want to add to the previous. Cloud storage isn't for everyone, and the Adobe Cloud may not be for everyone. So if you are in the situation like Mark O'Brien's in, and you're trying to get your shots over onto your phone, I find the handiest way is with Dropbox. But if you export your photo at 2048 pixels on the long edge at 72 dpi, it will typically show up well for the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram algorithms, because 2048 is divisible by 8 or 16 or whatever it is. So by having it at 2048 pixels on the long edge, the algorithm can do its maths better, and it kind of resize the photo better, whatever way the compression algorithm works. So yeah, 2048 pixels on the long edge and 72 PPI or DPI, whichever one it is.
How do you know that?
You see, Ronan, this
Like,
is exactly why
how
people
do you
think you
know
have not
that?
broken any bones. Like, no one can read as many books or articles online about this kind of thing and also have time to break bones outside. Like, that's the explanation for it. Like, has to be.
The 72 DPI got me, like, as
God.
No, we know you do, but like, sure, most of your landscape shots are, far, far away, within Wicklow. But you know what I mean? It's just like, there's no way you could break bones and know all of that stuff at the same time. Like, it's just, I don't think they could go hand in hand.
So do you,
I've actually
Ronan,
only ever broken one bone as well.
what was
and
it?
my shoulder, the humerus, the socket nearly broke. Like the ball joint nearly came off. So it didn't actually
Is that
break
where you
fully,
lost
it's
all of
only
your
a fracture.
humor then?
I'm hilarious. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Ronan has that type of humour that I find so entertaining. It's
the best.
It's kind of because,
absolutely
like,
the
do you know,
best.
I'm blunt. Like, Ronan's humour is blunt. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like real monotone, like, black and white, blunt humour that you either love or you don't. What's wrong, Kev? Okay.
Kevin has just like done the hand gesture for time out. And he's just disappeared in
And
the
he's
middle of
just
a
disappeared.
podcast.
Yeah.
He probably
Yeah.
has to go and run on his hamster wheel to power the laptop up for the next bloody 20 minutes. Just picture him legging it there in the wheel. And the little light flashes on above it. Okay, the laptop's good to go for another 10 minutes now.
You definitely watch a match of the day. Highlights.
100%. He's going on, what did Liverpool finish? 4-0, was it?
4-0, yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be
4-0.
back in 15 minutes.
Poor Kev. I think people find it entertaining, though, how we just take the mick out of Kevin. It's like kind of a
Yeah,
part
it's
of the
like
podcast.
what's his name? James May in Top Gear.
Yeah.
The two boys loved him, but they just ripped into him all the time. We do love our Kev.
All Kev needs now is a bad shirt and some long hair, and he'll literally be James May of this podcast. Which one are we, so Ronan? You're Jeremy Clarkson. 100% Jeremy Clarkson.
Why? Because people don't like me.
No, because you're definitely like the most, like, do you know, Joey Jeremy Clarkson is just like blunt, to the point, black and white, and is highly likely to offend someone.
But also very intelligent, and without him, Top Gear would have failed.
Yes.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I was getting to that. And I suppose I'm Richard Hammond, so. The guy
because
that
you've
crashed.
broken a load of bones.
Yeah, the guy that nearly
Oh my
killed
God,
himself
it's all coming together.
in an accident.
The revelations.
We've actually discussed that though. We'd love to do some like Top Gear style challenges on the tripod when all these restrictions are lifted. That'll be some crack, and do it in video form.
Yeah, it's going to be when, hopefully, like middle of 2021.
Yeah.
We'll get some summer months where we can meet up, and I'm just going to pick the two of yous up in a bear hug, and I'm going to squeeze, and I'm going to squeeze,
man.
and then I'm going to put you down, Sean, and I'm going to keep squeezing Kevin, and then
At the
we're
same
going to
time.
advertise. Yeah, we're going to advertise for a new third member of the tripod.
Oh God,
He's still not back yet.
No, he's not back. we were dragging out time, and Joe, we're just going to continue with the episode. Ronan, have you any other recommendations? So we've talked photography, we've talked Adobe CC, and that's kind of all I'm familiar with, to be honest. Now, you mentioned Darkroom before this episode. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on Darkroom, please?
Yeah, everyone likes a free alternative. We talked about the price fairly heavily there with the Adobe Creative Cloud. It's obviously a subscription service. You can cancel anytime you want, which is handy. They do give you like a grace period of 60 days, I think, where you can cancel and like your cloud storage and all that is unaffected. You can kind of resubscribe then later and just pick up where you left off, which is good. So they're not holding you to ransom really with your own files or whatever. But yeah, so if you don't have the budget, which a lot of people don't, there's a couple of alternatives. So there's a free alternative to Lightroom that's called Darktable, and you can just give that a Google, download it, and it's pretty much the exact same. Now, it's not as polished and it's nowhere near as effective. I don't think you can do any HDR merges or panorama merges or anything like that.
It's
But
an
it
open
does
source
have-
software, yeah.
Yeah, it does have all the sliders and stuff. Another good alternative is from Google, which is Snapseed, which is a phone app. So that's a good alternative to Lightroom CC Mobile.
Yeah.
Again, it has highlights, shadows, blacks, and it can process raw files. So like your DNGs, .nef, .orf, all those kind of files.
ORF, yeah, good man.
There's a
Brilliant
good
software.
alternative then to Photoshop, which is called GIMP.
GIMP. That's so strange.
GIMP.
I literally just googled GIMP right there.
Speaking of GIMP, lads, I'm back.
Oh,
well
my
done.
God,
about
we
that.
couldn't have timed that better.
Sorry about that.
If there was,
Where did you go? We've a bet on this.
What did
you
I
go?
miss? I just had to do something to animals. Doesn't matter.
Running
Anyway,
on the
come
hamster wheel, was it?
Yes, it was to charge up the laptop. Sure.
Before the laptop. That's a Ronan says.
Did he say that?
It's going to run these hamster wheels. He can 10 more minutes on the laptop.
Oh, lads, that's terrifying.
We were just going through some
We are way too
free
close.
alternatives to Creative Cloud, Kev. So yeah,
Lovely.
the GIMP is back, and the GIMP software is GIMP. Just Google that, and it's another open source.
Just be
free to
careful when
use
you're
photo
googling
editor.
it, lads. Just please type in photography afterwards. Just I've learned that.
I had such a good flow going there. And I
Sorry,
was like,
'cause if you
this
don't,
was another
Sean.
episode where I didn't want to have a go at Kevin, and even Sean is having a go at Kevin in this one. And he's enjoying it.
No, I mean it. If you just search those 4 letters
I've literally
on its own,
Okay, I've literally typed in GIMP, and the first page is nothing but photography. So I don't know what you've been searching.
And never mind. Continue.
Okay, go run on your wheel again there. Yes, so GIMP is...
I'm now on the third page and it's still photography. So, Kev, I really don't know what you've been searching.
You see, no, because I was trying to find out how to do a mask on that application. And so I typed in, it doesn't matter. Never mind.
So your adult filters weren't stopping that?
No,
clearly.
sir.
Okay, right. Well, the GIMP we're talking about is a alternative to Photoshop, and I actually started out on GIMP before I had any Photoshop. This is what I used at the very start. I used to for the listeners, do this for the crack. Scroll way down on my Instagram. Actually, you might unfollow me when you see all the stuff I used to shoot. Scroll way down on my Instagram and have a look at the selective colouring I used to do. I have a photograph where I have like a paintbrush on my face. And like the line of the paintbrush is like, that's where the colour is on my face, and the rest is black and white. It looks like I've painted it across my face. And like I used GIMP to do this selective colouring, and I had to look up to the same tutorial every single time. I had no clue about layers or selecting.
No way.
Nothing. Oh yeah, no clue. So just for, actually that'll give you a laugh, like just scroll way down on Instagram, have a look at that. And I used to use GIMP for that, like as an alternative to Photoshop, because I didn't have Photoshop. But yeah, geez, there's some cringeworthy stuff there on my start of my Instagram. I didn't, like, a lot of people have deleted their old shots and stuff. I haven't, because I look back and I'm like, Jesus.
There's a good tip that
come a long way.
A fellow called Ronan gave me is about archiving shots. I've done that with a few of the oldies because I used to solely edit in Snapseed. I think I mentioned it before. Yeah. I used to only edit in Snapseed. Like, Snapseed is really good and really powerful.
Oh, there she is.
oh my goodness, that is glorious, Sean.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Do I look young there?
13th of December 2014. That's literally nearly 6 years to the day.
Oh,
Jesus.
wow. What date? What?
A week off.
Yeah,
Jesus,
that's mad.
Lads. I didn't even know how to use a camera. I bought like a Nikon D30-200 or something like that, and I used it for like a month. Like I really like into photography, not even into it. Like started doing all that stuff, and then I just lost interest for like 5 years. But yeah, look, that's GIMP. GIMP is quite hard to use now. It's fairly complicated. Not even complicated. It's a bit daunting. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not aesthetically pleasing like Photoshop is.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. Like, the free alternatives are good to learn, and like you'll get the principle of layers and masking and all that stuff. But like Photoshop and Lightroom are really streamlined, and they're the top of the industry. Is that the word? They're the top of the game for a reason.
In terms of building a workflow, a post-processing workflow, I wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't stray anywhere from Adobe. Basically, Lightroom and Photoshop just work so well together. Like, when I'm editing in Lightroom, I go into Photoshop, do everything. I just hit Control and S or Command and S, and it saves it automatically, and it automatically brings it back into Lightroom for me. Don't even have to import it back in. Really handy.
Deadly.
So, yeah. Kev, you mentioned editing on Snapseed. I've never edited on Snapseed.
Snapseed,
maybe
like,
a small
honestly,
bit on the phone.
Like, it's really, really strong. It's really good, but it can just go so wrong so quickly as well. You know what I mean? But that's just like, I suppose that could be done in Lightroom. That could be done in Photoshop. It's all about kind of.
Have you used Snapseed recently though, Kev? Because I feel like as you progress, if you were to go back now, you wouldn't overdo it as much. Like,
exactly.
I think Snapseed
I have.
is
Like,
still
I have.
viable.
That's a very
Snapseed
good point.
It's very handy. Like, there's a kind of, it's a clone, or it's almost like there's a healing option in it. You know what I mean? You can actually take out little bits from a photo like perfectly. You can actually kind of clone out, little smudges here and there, blemishes on skin, like bits of rubbish in a landscape shot that maybe you didn't spot. Like, and it can be really, really accurate and really good. Like, I mean, you'd be surprised the amount of times I'd take even like distractions. Like, oh, here's a prime example, right? Did you see the James Morrison shot that I posted on Instagram yesterday? Yes. There was a microphone. There was a microphone like right, just kind of away from his face, and it went all the way out of shot. And I got rid of that with Snapseed, and you wouldn't notice it. Like
Go away.
It's yeah, absolutely. And it was just like literally one stroke of the finger, just got in one go, poof, gone, and it was done.
Nice.
Like it can be really handy for that kind of stuff. Now if it's trying to fill in, almost like with content aware fill, which I believe I don't really use it. I'm not 100% sure. But like that'll kind of try match it up with its surroundings or whatever.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be great at that. It does a good job. It tries its best. You know what I mean? It tries hard, but it's just not.
It's done a great job there. I was just looking at it. Like in Photoshop, the healing brush and Lightroom, especially the healing brush and Lightroom is really bad. But they can be very bad on a bokeh background, like a blurry background where there is no detail. Yeah. And like the microphone job there, you can't see any distorted pixels or anything. So it's done. It's done a
it's done a really good job. Like I'll send you over the original.
That's a good point, Ronan. Though, like when you're starting out in these apps and all these tools, you're probably going mad, like, but no, when you know what you're doing, it can probably be powerful enough. The Lightroom app as well is free on Android and iOS, and it's got all the tools. Do you know what I mean? It's got quite powerful tools. Like you can do all selective edits. Like you can do loads of local adjustments, like your radial, your grads. You can do all those adjustments in the app. You can do your cloning, your healing. You can do all the color grading. So all your HSL sliders are there. All your color grading is there in the Lightroom mobile app. So it's very handy too. Like, no, I wouldn't like. I actually. I shot a wedding yesterday as well, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
And I have such...
They took her jobs.
I have such a newfound... I have such a newfound respect for Ronan as a full-time wedding photographer.
Don't say that ever again.
You can't say nice things to me because I will hold it over you for the rest of your life.
I've
Remember
no
that
problem
time
saying...
I got you to 10k followers, Sean? Remember that?
Oh yeah, congratulations, Sean.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I kept it so quiet. Like I was like, I gotta get to 10k now, and without even saying a thing. And next thing, I just got a message in the group chat. Apologies in advance, Sean. I was like, oh, what's coming here? What is coming? And next thing, the fucker, he spotted it and up with the story. And no, it's not. It sounds like I'm unappreciative. I'm not at all unappreciative at all. And thanks to everyone.
I'm going to read out the message you sent me.
Do.
I put up the story saying Sean or photo is going to kill me for trying to get him to 10k, and then a screenshot of his page with all these gifs around it. And he replied to my story in the most polite and loving way. F*** you.
You should put that screenshot up on the Instagram story for the crack, because people won't believe I actually said I did say that. Yeah, it's just, you know me. Like I didn't want any fuss. Like, and
Sean does not like a fuss like that. It's the most Sean O'Riordan thing ever. But look, do you know what? Well deserved though, buddy. Because I think it's been a long time coming.
And it's brilliant that so many people admire my work, and I love that. I really appreciate everyone like who gave me a shout out, and just people for following me and engaging my work in general. So genuinely, thanks very much. I know I sound like it's just I just don't buy into it, but it's still very humbling. And thanks, Ronan.
You're welcome, bud. Anytime. Love you.
I can't even remember what we were talking. Oh yes, I'm shooting a wedding. Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I was saying another nice thing about Ronan, that I have a newfound respect for him as a full-time wedding photographer. My God, it's not easy. It's not easy. There's so many things you have to think of, and like a couple. No, it was for the couple were so laid back. They were so like they were really great to work with. Like they really just wanted a couple of nice kind of casual photos, nothing formal, nothing really posed, and just bar the group shots. And it was more for a job for a friend. But like a couple of times my flash didn't fire. A couple of times I hadn't the high speed sync on, so when I took a photograph and the flash fired, there was lines going through the photo. There was so many things to think about: changing your focus point, positioning yourself. And do you know what I found the hardest, Ronan? Here we go down another rabbit hole, but it doesn't matter. I found it like being, especially during the reception when they're having their drinks, you kind of said, can you grab a few photos of this? I was like, yeah. But it was a really small room and I felt really big. Do you know that kind of way? I really found it hard to blend
Center
in.
of attention.
Yeah, like, and I could, like, because you're in such a small room every time, and when you have your low light AF on, the green light pings when it's trying to get focus.
Yeah.
And straight away, like,
laser.
they look at you like, do you know what I mean? They pick you out like, and it's just, man. So I found that really tough to try and blend in and be like unnoticed. So when I see those reviews that you have, and there's people saying I hardly even knew Ronan was there, I was like, man, that's actually a skill in itself. Like,
he is very, very sneaky.
Yeah.
It's more impressive because I'm 6 foot 20 stone of 100% Wicklow beef with two big cameras hanging off me.
This is the funny thing, right? I'm just about 6 foot. Okay, I'm 12 stone, but I'm a slim guy. I had one camera and one lens, and I was bare.
And
like,
it's not
I was
even
wearing,
a big camera as well. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
like my 24-70 f4, and I had a grey jumper on and black jeans, so I could not have been any more unnoticeable, or any more. Sorry, yeah, unnoticeable. But I actually loved it. I got a couple of really nice shots, and that, like, of really candid shots of kids and stuff, and of the couple. And I think that's kind of when, like, I know, Ronan, you feel like, oh, that's that wow moment. Like, that's like when you're out shooting a landscape and you get that shot, you know. And I really enjoyed that. But no, it's not for me. Anyway, the reason I got down this rabbit hole was I processed the whole wedding on my laptop, okay, on Lightroom CC on my laptop. I just wanted to compare it to Lightroom Classic and stuff, because I remember we spoke about editing on laptop versus desktop a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, a lot harder to edit on a laptop, I found, using the trackpad as opposed to using the mouse. I missed my tablet, I missed my stylus, because that came up in the group last week about tablets, about stylus and Wacom tablets. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Missed my tablet an awful lot, missed my stylus, just for doing kind of those really fine selections and stuff, you know. So yeah, definitely desktop over PC. But the Lightroom CC app, so that's the one that comes with the cloud version as well, has got all the same powerful tools as Lightroom Classic. It's just, if you're used to Lightroom Classic, you'll find Lightroom CC different, you know. But yeah, I had to process the whole wedding on the laptop and deliver about 120 photos, I suppose, for a few hours shooting. You
know Brian, Explore, Create, Capture. He edits solely on his iPad. Like, literally every single thing, every shot, every aspect of his edit and everything is just done on an iPad, which is mental.
If you have an Apple Pencil, which I have on the iPad, it's powerful enough. Like, you would be able to edit it. Like, obviously, unless you do exposure blending and all that, you get away with it. Like, yeah, you would be able to get away with it. Mobile editing.
There's some terrible bad habits though. I love Brian. Brian's a very good photographer. He's been on the podcast and no doubt will be on it in the future. But he doesn't use masks, and I think it's because it's on the iPad. He uses the eraser tool, which is a destructive edit. Now, each to their own. Like, you can do destructive edits, but like, if you want to come back to a photo and work on it again, if you've erased the load out of a layer instead of putting a mask on it, which is non-destructive, like, you have to go back and restart the whole edit.
All right.
So, like,
that makes sense.
I don't even know if the iPad can use layers. Maybe it can. Can the iPad Photoshop use layers?
I don't have Photoshop on the iPad, but there is definitely layers there, and they have revamped it. But I just have the Lightroom app on my iPad, because that's what I use with the kids in school for processing. I push, actually, you should have seen their faces 2 weeks ago. I'm on the tech team in school, so I can push whatever apps there's to their iPad, and like, I pushed all the Lightroom app to them, and they were all editing photos, graph, and they were in their element, like, gone mad with the colours and the HSL sliders. Yeah, inside Lightroom CC and the iPad. But
that's brilliant.
Yeah, so look, we've spoken about Adobe, we've spoken about your alternatives. So Darkroom is your free Lightroom alternative. You got GIMP for your free Photoshop alternative. On your mobile, download either Snapseed or the Lightroom app itself, and that can be your mobile editor, and that'll give you a really good base point. Do you know what I mean? And most cameras nowadays, most modern cameras, have a wireless bridge that you can transfer images directly from your phone. Yeah. From your camera, onto your phone. So if you don't, because a lot of people, like, I'm kind of like, we're speaking from privileged places here, like, you know, some people genuinely don't have a laptop or an iPad or a tablet to edit on, so they have their mobile phone.
In fairness, Kevin has a potato.
I was just going to say, lads, in fairness, my lab, like,
Kevin, you're basically in that
not a place
criteria
of privilege.
At this moment,
to go and hop on the wheel.
Yeah, no, I'm basically there at the moment anyway. So
You're flicking a bit there, Kev. Is the wheel slowing down? You must have some set of calves in you.
I do indeed. Moo.
Get him out there.
God.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, so I'm basically in that like in that boat at this moment, really, because like my laptop, it's pointless. It's at this moment it's a joke. So yeah, like kind of do a lot of it on the phone.
Yeah.
But when I was first obviously kind of back with my old camera, it didn't have the Wi-Fi connectivity.
Yeah.
Dear God, like the difference is like it's vital, isn't it? Like it's.
I don't use the Wi-Fi connectivity at all. I've never have. I think I've used it once on one of the Olympus bodies I had. But if I didn't have a desktop, obviously I would have to use it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
it's so, especially because like once again, if I which I don't do gigs anymore, but if I was at a gig, you want to get your shot out first. So to have that is essential.
Yeah.
If there's loads of photographers
exactly.
there, so like it's a race almost. Like you get the first one out and you're laughing.
Prime example of where you could use this mobile editing workflow straight on your phone, edit a Snapseed, Lightroom, and upload it.
Yeah, like so obviously when you leave the pit in the Tree Arena, you just go back out to like the entrance, and everyone else would like start leaving, and I'll sit in like the foyer or the reception area or whatever you'd call it of the Tree Arena and pick my shot and edit it and upload it straight away before anyone else does.
Yeah.
And it's just for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Sorry to all my friends who listen who are now going to do that next time I see us there. Can't wait.
So there we are. And like another episode where so much happened, yet we only intended on so little happening. Do you know? Ronan, have we an update on the Tripod Ireland? Because when we were recording this, it is Sunday, and we had the semi-finals tonight. No, quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals tonight, yeah. Exciting
8 went to 4.
Stuff. 8 went to 4. Dublin is gone in the form of Richie Hogan and Darren Houlihan. Dublin snap and Hogan 79.
Yeah.
The lads were warriors. Everyone was predicting a Dublin win. It's not going to happen now, I don't think. Julie is probably... I'm going to say underdog. Julie Hepburn.
Julie for the
dark
girls.
Horse there, sneaking away, just tipping along like that's the way to do it.
Julie's representing the ladies out there.
Now. She's in the semis. And
She's
Julie's
the only
representing
female.
Fermanagh, which is probably, if you were to think of a county to make it to All-Ireland semi-finals, probably not one you'd pick, to be fair.
No.
We also have Point Shoot Post representing Leitrim, and Leitrim was one of the counties that we were like, lads, please enter someone in
Lads,
Leitrim.
if Leitrim ends up winning the Tripod all
The only thing Leitrim will ever win in their lives, trust me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're Ireland's smallest county, aren't they?
Yeah.
It would just be gas. So yeah, Aidan is there for Leitrim. Then Brian Wellboy, a lot of people's favourites, our favourite with the messages we get to the
Brian's
page.
a good lad.
Great photographer, very, very good photographer. Like his black and white entry for the first round, I think it was, of the stairs was just excellent. He's representing Donegal, so he was in the top side as well, so he won a county. So Point Shoot Post and Julie are in the second half. They came second in their county, so the final will be a first place finisher versus a second place finisher.
Okay.
Regardless, the other one then in the top of the draw is the relatively unknown Brian. So it's Brian with a Y
BTJ
versus Brian with an I. BTJ_photo_ representing the Cats.
Carlo,
of Kilkenny.
Oh, Kilkenny, okay.
Oh, wow, okay.
The Cats, Carlo boy.
I thought he was a Carlo man.
He might be a Carlo man, but he's representing Kilkenny for the purposes of this hastily thrown together photography competition we came up with.
It was not hastily thrown together, okay. You absolutely crafted this from start to finish. It's phenomenal. Again, there I am being nice to you again. I don't know what's
I
wrong
need bigger headphones for
I think
Christmas.
I'm delirious with tiredness right now.
You are doing a really good job, Ronan.
Thanks, guys. It's
Coming
a team,
back
though, as I said. There's no Ronan in Tripod.
Sorry, Ronan. Can I just say
There probably is a row though, is there? There's definitely a row in tripod.
Try. There's an R and an O.
Yeah, there's a row in tripod. Just
Okay,
saying.
there we go. Brian's photograph for reflection, the chess piece. Am I correct?
Phenomenal. Did you see his
person?
behind the
I think the
scenes?
same guy, isn't it? It was. I'm definitely thinking the same. Hang on a second. I'll get up his Instagram profile.
I need to remind myself because I've
You
gone
lose
through
track.
every entry from the start to put the graphics
Yeah.
and all together. So
I'm right. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Did you see his behind the scenes on it?
That was
That
great.
class.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you said chest piece. And I was like thinking of a suit of armor or something. I was like,
No.
what?
No,
Yeah,
it's a
chest piece. Yeah.
That was such a cool image, I thought. Really cool. So, like,
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, the talent from everyone. And I know it sounds cliche to say that, but genuinely, like, the people who came out in droves, like, and photographers who I hadn't even heard of, and now I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We know them now.
So
Phenomenal.
what? The winner's going to be Fermanagh, Leitrim, Kilkenny, or
Waterford. No, not
Waterford.
Waterford.
Donegal.
Donegal.
No.
Donegal.
Donegal
Donegal.
plays Kilkenny and Fermanagh plays Leitrim in the semis. The other thing to note then is that there's a third place playoff because there's obviously a voucher for second place and third place.
yes.
So it'll be like, I'm going to pick counties that aren't in it. Clare versus Sligo in the final, and then Monaghan versus Wicklow in the second and third place playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was it so difficult to pick other counties when there was 28
I know, yeah.
other counties?
There's
to
so
choose
many
from?
options.
Man, that's like those games in the radio where they're like, say a random word, and there's like, you can't
I
think,
can't
of,
think of
Do you know what I
any
mean?
words.
That's exactly what happened right there.
Yeah.
That's mad. Brilliant. Phenomenal.
Yeah, everyone, fair play, lads. You're
Yeah.
absolutely smashing it. Like it's brilliant, and I'm loving that I get to vote as like a regular person. You know,
Yeah.
like, it's class.
Yeah, my sister
I get
texted me
excited.
last week. She's like, me and Owen, her boyfriend, like, she's like, we sit down every evening. We can't wait, or not every evening, but every time the vote is on. So we love going through the entries, like, and
Aw.
voting. Like, do you know what I mean? People are getting great
That's
entertainment
cute.
out of it. Like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, they are. It's fantastic. Like it's I think it's brilliant. Yeah, well done, everyone. Well done, Ronan. And I'm going to partly say well done to myself and Sean, even though we don't deserve it. But
I don't deserve any well done.
just for Ronan's sake, I'm going to say it because he doesn't like to take all of the credit. So
Yeah.
well done
Ronan.
to everybody.
Thanks,
salute
guys.
you.
There's
salute you.
one bit of breaking news though as well. The
Snap.
the night of the finals, there's only going to be 2 polls up. There'll be the first and second place poll, and then the third and fourth place poll. So that's kind of boring. So after round 3, we put up a story to be like, who would you bring back from round 1, 2, and 3? And there's 3 photographers, one that went out in round 1, one that went out in round 2, and one that went out in round 3.
And they're going up against us.
They're going up against the tripod hosts on the
No
night,
way, are they actually?
just for the crack?
Stop.
So
No,
on the
really?
finals, yeah, on the night of the
was only
finals,
I'm going to get my arse handed to me.
That
there'll
is
be a
amazing.
random draw. And,
Do we know who they are?
Yeah, we do. But
See,
I'm not
I should
telling
probably
you yet.
know this. Like, I'm really excited now.
This is hilarious because someone asked me in the Full Irish chat last week or something. They were saying, what's this about like a kind of a wild card thing that's going to go on? I was like, I actually have no idea, but I'll pass your question on to Ronan.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like, let
Well,
me
now
just
we
speak to
know.
Ronan on that one.
That's wild.
That's class. So when is that? I better charge my camera.
Have we a team? Have we a team? We don't have a team. That would give us an
I'm
advantage. actually.
nervous now,
Yeah.
lads. I'm sweating. I'm
not
panicking
giving
here.
out the team until the next round starts. But I know the team, and I'm just putting it out there. I'm being honest. I'm not even thinking about ideas or anything like that. I'm not going to try and get some advantage by me knowing the team. So I will only shoot it last week and submit it then when the final nomination.
I'll check your
Is the
Excel data.
team drone photos taken from Karen Toole photographing the McKillicuddy Reeks at sunrise? by a chance?
That Sean
yes.
sent you a copy of. Yes, that is exactly it. Yes.
Oh man, that's exciting.
That's brilliant, yeah.
That's a lot of pressure though, because if we lose, then
Stop.
Like,
I'm probably going to lose it, because I was looking at all the images and like, no way would I be able to come up with something that creative. Like, it's brilliant.
oh man,
That's a fantastic way to end this episode. Wow.
There's
On that,
also-
literally on that bombshell.
I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
there's one other matchup I want to try and bring back, but I haven't asked the two people yet. But it would be Tim Media and David Guilford, because their poll, they were the first draw. I think it was round 3 they were drawing that we had to get the judges for. Their poll to this day, even though the story is gone, it finished dead level.
Yeah.
No way.
So
That's
it would
insane,
be great to
isn't it?
bring
Like,
them back on the night of the finals as well, to do like a head-to-head. But I'll ask them and we'll see. But
and people will like this. So on the night of the final, then we're talking 6 polls. If Tim and Dave goes ahead,
yeah, with Tim
that'd be
and
nice.
Dave, it'll be 6.
People like a lot of polls. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's class. That's
and then
buzzing.
are we gonna have Claire Dennehy versus someone as well, aren't we? Is that going ahead?
Oh yes, we'll get Claire and Marie.
Claire and Marie,
Wasn't
yeah.
it Marie Coyle, I think?
It was Marie Coyle, yeah, absolutely.
They actually did their own poll on Claire's story during one of the rounds, and like their shots were phenomenal as well. I went over during the
they're
vote and was
amazing,
voting on
like
theirs.
they're class. They're brilliant.
that's brilliant.
So much crack.
Jeez, that's
right,
gonna be
so when is the final then, Ronan? Do you have that earmarked? Like, do we have a date?
Sorry, yeah, the 15th of December is the final night.
9 days.
The next
Jeez,
round
better
is
start
this
me
Friday.
thinking.
So it's Tuesday the 8th today. Friday the 11th is the semi-finals, and we'll find out the team for the final, which is on
That
Tuesday the 15th.
That's
So,
unbelievable. Oh, wow.
That's
Some
very
exciting.
exciting.
Crack.
That's
Can't
gonna be
wait.
some crack. I've never done one of these challenges.
I hope it's something real juicy. Like, I hope it's a
I've
real
never done any of them,
like.
so
I
wow.
hope it's a real thinker.
Yeah, that would be
of
good.
a-
Do you know what?
you know what I mean?
I'm
Like-
actually looking forward to this. It'll be really good to try and challenge those creative juices, you know, and get the
Yeah.
head thinking. So
Because
And
you'd
the
be surprised
team
what
for the
what does come
final
into your
of
head.
The Tripod All Ireland is human-sized hamster wheels that power laptops.
Haha, I'm laughing.
How did this happen?
oh, brilliant.
Deadly.
Lads, I'm going to draw this
That's
to a
really
close
exciting.
on that note.
Ah,
yeah.
don't. This
That
great
was
crack.
fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic, Ronan. Wow, another bombshell. I wasn't expecting that.
Come here, lads.
but-
Will we give an exclusive as to who our guest is next week on the podcast?
No,
Or
Kevin,
maybe-
we don't do that. No.
Oh, fine.
No. Sean, see us out, please. Kevin,
I'm excited
look,
about
we're
it.
going to have a word after this.
You
again.
shut up.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think
Yeah.
Sean is going to have a word with you after this one.
Yeah,
not me.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Welcome
Please.
to my side,
What's
Sean.
that baby gonna do? You know what I mean?
Oh.
Respect your elders, O'Riordan. All right,
What are you going to do? I'm going to hand you. You do that.
go on. See us out then, Shawnee boy.
Oh god, yeah. The last time that happened, where we announced the host of the podcast, I don't think it worked out in the end. We had to cut it
Oh
out
yeah,
in the
that's
edit.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Let's not do that
Okay.
again.
Here we are.
You'll get there eventually, Kev. You'll
Yeah.
catch up with us at some stage.
Yeah. We're only on
We're
episode
waiting a
32.
long time now.
Only
Like,
episode 2. We've been waiting since
Please.
episode 1.
Please.
Okay, everyone, thanks very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed that. Get in touch with any questions you have about post-processing software and Adobe plans and whatnot, and we'd be more than happy to help. Tune into the stories during the week, where I'm sure there'll be some cat images of my old photographs up, especially my selective colouring photographs.
I'm buzzing to
And,
go look back at those.
Until next week, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday. And there you have it, folks. Another episode of The Tripod.
If you did enjoy the podcast, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes.
And you can always subscribe to the podcast. And if you want to listen to more episodes, head over to www.tripod.ie, where you can find us on our socials, which include Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay,
and
Ronan, that's
you
enough.
can,
Yeah,
be
that's-
on Snapchat
that's
and
enough, Ronan.
TikTok. And okay, thanks.